Bellingham Bay, Washington. This is a really unique property out here. Just some really awesome ocean views, actually. My name is Miles McLaughlin here at Wilco Land. What we do is we buy and sell niche, and we like to call them epic land investments across the United States. So we do offer more of a self-service model, so that's why I'm making this video. I want to talk about what I see in the property. I want to show you some of the tools I use to evaluate property all over the country, share some of my opinions and thoughts on the property from my due diligence, from my research, and just from my experience in the industry. So just clicking through some photos here to give you an idea. Our photographer did a great job of capturing drone imagery of the property. We are elevated a little bit with a view of the bay. I'll talk about the property here on satellite imagery here in a minute, and some potential uses for the property or why somebody might buy something like this. So just kicking it off like every other video with a disclaimer. This isn't real estate advice. This isn't legal advice. I'm simply sharing my thoughts and opinions from my due diligence and my experience in my research. You as a buyer need to conduct your own due diligence, verify this information, and make sure whether it's our property or somebody else's that it's the right fit for you. We at Wilco Land do sell all of our property as is. I am here to be transparent and honest with you about these properties. So just call me if you have questions or if something's not clear. So just jumping right into it, we can see some pretty good drone imagery of the property. It's overgrown. It's never been used, right? It'll need clearing. And I want to talk, and then here's some street views, really a cool property. Like I'm pretty stoked to have this property. It looks like there's power lines right there. That would not be a concern of mine. And then again, just a beautiful view, looking over at, this is probably Mount Baker, I'm guessing. So, it's cool. It's really cool. So let me show you, where the property is located on satellite imagery here in a second. So you can see, we've got access on the road here, and it's a slight gentle slope upwards, not a bad one. You can see the elevation change goes from 51 feet to about 80 feet. So about a 30-foot difference across a decent amount of land. So that's gradual enough to give you that view, right? When we talk about the pro of that, I mean, this is your view then, right? This is what we're looking at. Like I said, I think that's Mount Baker over there, but that's your view from the property. That's pretty darn cool, right? And so let me just zoom out a little bit more. You can see, kind of some of the history. People are using these properties. People are developing. This is a unique area because it is part of the Lumi Reservation. So I'll talk about that in a minute. How we're advertising this property is kind of a recreational property, long-term investment. It is a buildable property, quote unquote. So there are water and sewer hookups available for tribal members. So, I believe, so to my understanding, and I'm not an expert on it, let me just zoom out and give you a bird's eye view of where we're at to talk about this. I'm going to jump right into land use and potential, what's a person do with this property? So we're in the Bellingham Bay here. Really a cool location. Like I said, this is all Lumi Reservation. People do buy and sell land that aren't tribal members out here. So keep that in mind. You don't have to be a tribal member. I don't know, if you have a bloodline of it, if that gets you into getting power and sewer. But to my understanding, through reading through due diligence and my understanding again, and it's pretty surface level, is that you have to be a tribal member to actually get access to hook up to water and sewer, right? So maybe there's public utilities for everybody at some point. Maybe these rules change down the line. Maybe you can petition for something else. Maybe you have some sort of bloodline with the tribe. Maybe you know somebody that can go in on this property with you and help you develop on this property. You guys can share the investment. You have to get creative with how you are going to use it. It offers an awesome holding property at the price point that we're offering. So just a long-term investment that offers a recreational getaway on the weekends. You can go use a property for recreation. There's no, restrictions on you using the property as the owner. I mean, that is something that you can do, right? And so let me just give you an idea. Maybe there's other ways to get around, water and sewer too. So we know electricity is right there. That's going to be no problem to connect with. So I just want to show you an idea. This is what somebody did in this neighborhood, Genesis land-based sailboat. And so it's an off-grid community is what this guy is describing this. And this is in the neighborhood of where our property's at. It's an off-grid community. So what does that mean? Maybe people are putting up tiny homes, off-grid structures that are under a certain amount of square feet that don't require a building permit. You can just, how unique is this idea? So this guy's renting this out on Airbnb. He's probably not hooked up to the water because he might not be a tribal member. Again, I'm making assumptions here, but this is like being a detective. Like, we're putting the pieces together for a land investment to make a qualified decision, to make a good decision. He's got solar on his property, it looks like. You can see solar panels here on this sailboat. How cool is this? I'm guessing this didn't require a permit. I'm guessing it's not a permanent structure that probably didn't require a permit, and they were able to build it because it didn't, what somebody did didn't require a foundation. It didn't require septic. It didn't require a well. So it looks like he's got sailboated, the interior is all custom teak, solar panels, propane stove and oven. She has running cold water, good to drink. So that must mean it's some sort of catchment system or like a water tank. There's an outhouse nearby as well as an outdoor shower. So maybe he's storing water on the property and refilling that. There is an outhouse. So again, somebody found a way to develop a property that was quote unquote not usable unless you were a tribal member. So let's put that aside and let's think outside the box. This property has opportunity today. A campsite, you're in an awesome location. Maybe it's day use by the ocean. Maybe it's an RV site. Whatever it may be, keep in mind, there are other ways to use property, and at the very least, you have a long-term real estate investment. And when we you can look at the aerial imagery to see what other people are doing, somewhat to a degree. It doesn't look like there's a lot of, if there are rules around things, it doesn't look like there's a lot of stuff getting enforced, and that's just something I'm seeing. You take it with a grain of salt, but it's pretty private out here on the island. It's kind of a little off-grid oasis like that person described with the sailboat. So, I just want to put that perspective and I want to fuel a thought process. I'm not making guarantees to what you can and cannot do on the property. You as a buyer need to figure that out, figure out if it's the right fit for you. What I know is we're offering a pretty cool land investment. It's going to be a long-term real estate asset that you hold. Things can change over time when it comes to development, when it comes to water use with the tribe. Things like that can change over time, right? New technology comes out, and there are ways in the meantime to get creative with how you use your property. We can see somebody just did that with putting a sailboat together and putting it on Airbnb, and they're making, I don't know how much it is a night. Let's just look at what it is. It's $60 a night. How easy would it be to put some sort of drop box that opens up, just a simple thing that's 600 square feet for somebody to sleep in out here? It's just, people are getting creative with land in today's day and age with all the technology available. So again, when it comes to zoning and due diligence, that's all posted in the listing. I just kind of want to walk through. We have other listings on our website in Washington State, across Montana, Idaho, and other areas like that. So just get with me if you have questions. My name is Miles McLaughlin. I'm here to help you out, answer anything that wasn't answered in this video. My number here is 605-299-5553. Thanks for tuning in.